Ahlan wa sahlan and welcome to part 2 of this thrift haul that is pretty huge. So I actually am kind of sad to show you this one because this one is, I will tell you, it's like a small tray for, you know, earrings and rings and necklaces and stuff. It has a very nice kind of vintage looking wood design, but it came with a LED, and I forgot it in my like relative's car that I was going with to the thrift shops, and I cannot show you the LED, but it had like a mirror, and it also had some very nice kind of flower in this wood style on top of it. So this one was only like 2.5 dirhams, and it has like green velvet inside, and it was just so cute. So that was one find as well. Another thing was this kind of, I don't know what I should call this one, but it's just like having all this you know, like design on it that is very, I don't know what it looks like, but it looks like something, I don't know, Buddhistic or something. However, and yoga kind of style, and I really like that kind of types of items, like Bali vibe as well. So I thought I will buy it. I don't know if this is in Chinese or Japan letters, or if it is in any other language, or not language but alphabet. But this one was around 10 dirhams. So, and it is like massive, it's really heavy. So I don't know if this one is in stone, but I think it is. Yeah, it is actually probably in a stone. So if any one of you know what this is, like the letter, maybe it's this way, but I think it's that, or like this maybe, you can let me know. But I think this one is gonna look very nice because I have some Buddha statues around my house for decoration purpose, and I think this one can also look very nice in the same kind of, you know, decoration purpose. So okay, those were all of the things. If you haven't seen part 1, you can go and watch it. But those were all of the things I found at that thrift shop that I aimed at going to. But then after the road trip, we wanted to have something like some tea and coffee. So we stopped at another place, but it was closed. They didn't have any cafe. So they did have some former antique shop that now had turned into a thrift shop, because no one was buying the stuff that they had, so they had started selling them to very low prices because they wanted to get rid of the stuff. And it was an old lady who had the shop, and I think she was going to move into some like housing for elder people, so she wanted to get rid of her, you know, like antiques and stuff. And she had so much things there. I didn't have loose cash except for just some, so I couldn't look through everything and be like buying things. But because I like Moroccan things, and I like Arabic and more Islamic cultural things and so forth. I have mosquitoes here, so that's why I'm waving with my hands. But because I like that type of style of things, and also a little bit vintage things, I actually found this. This is I guess it's a 1900th century kind of school planche, or like something they had in the school. And I know that it can be a little bit like, oh, that's so colonialistic to put people who are like living in other places on this type of planche, because it's creating stereotypical images of people. But I actually viewing this as art, and it is kind of old, so it does speak for the history. And this one has been hanging inside of a Swedish school back during the 1900th century. And because I'm really liking Bedouins and like the desert, and yeah, I've been to some places and they have just been amazing, and I really like this type of thing. Therefore, when I saw this one, she had like so many different ones. They were like from China, Japan, Africa, African countries and stuff. There was like so many. But when I saw this one, I picked it up immediately. She had another one and I couldn't buy it because I didn't have loose cash with me. But it was also having a camel. But yeah, there is someone who is like, you know, taking care of a goat, and then there is some other one on a camel, and this just reminded me of the United Arab Emirates back in the days when there was no Dubai and no like skyscrapers and stuff. Also, like when you, if you have read about the Prophet Muhammad, his life, I think you will feel more for interest for the desert and just the area long time ago in that specific area. So anyway, she had like you know, images that were of Jesus, and she had like a lot of things, even of the skin layers and like insects, and there was a lot of, you know, for educational purposes back in the days. But yeah, I got this one for I think around 15 dirhams. I'm definitely gonna keep this one on my wall because it is very vintage looking, and it does have something that is inspiring to me. Another thing that I got was this one. So she had some very like 1800th century kind of prints looking. She also had some huge newspaper that was about the Swedish king during, like, printed in the 1800th century, and I almost picked it up and was going to purchase it, but as I said, I didn't have loose cash with me, so I had to be very careful with my purchases. And obviously I want to buy things that I actually can keep in my house. But this one is having some red kind of art here, and there's two ladies who is testing out hats, and I'm assuming this one is a kind of the style of 1800th century or something. But for me, because my house is kind of old, I have old stuff in here as well, I just think this one is gonna look very nice in the room where I have my wardrobes and stuff. And I'm going to make like a wall with different frames and different artworks, because I have gotten more interested into art and how you actually can use art for, you know, showing different things, and yeah, whatever, I'm not gonna go into it, but very interested into art. And this one, she even had some real pieces of art there at that place, and I was like, if I would have had more money with me, I would definitely have purchased some of them, because they were very, I never seen anyone, like, you should buy them in an antique shop, not in a thrift shop, because she even had like silver earrings and stuff for like 5 dirhams. She just wanted to get rid of everything because she could not be there and selling them for so much longer time. And yeah, it was just such a good place to go and look at art. And I really like flipping through these old papers that are like really old, and she had so much of that, so I was like, wow. So yeah, that one was one. She had a ton of different paintings or prints like this, but I picked this one. Then, because I've been to Jerusalem or Al-Quds one time, I spent almost 1 month there. Oh, wow, okay, so she actually had, I saw this roll. I will first show you what it looked like. It was like this on a table, and I was like, I think I know what it is. I just saw this and I knew what it was. So I looked here, and it said, like, you know, some famous places in Jerusalem or Al-Quds, and it is in black and white on one side, and then surprisingly there is also color on the other side. So I think this lady, she was very like into art, and she knew a lot about art. I think she also went, and also she was very into religion, I think Christianity. So maybe she had been a teacher at the school actually before she retired, but because this was her like pieces that she had collected over her life, so this was very unique. Anyway, and it was very unexpected on this trip. So I guess she went to Jerusalem at some point in her life and maybe purchased this whole kind of print. It's so large, I don't know how to show it, but it's very large. I can basically put this one on a wall, and depending on if I want it in color, I have this side, or I could also use the more like sepia or black and white. I think I prefer the black and white. It just adds so much like you know, like, I don't know, perspective to the place because it has so long history. So I got this one for 2.5 dirhams, and I don't know when this one was purchased, but I can see that she got it Mount of Olives Press, Jerusalem, and there is a phone number if you know this one. Anyway, I got that one because it was very interesting finding. Then the final thing, she had two different ones, and I'm so sorry, like, for myself, like, that I didn't have more money, like that I didn't have 15 dirhams loose cash with me, because I would have gotten the other one, but at least I got one. So this is a school planche of date palm tree. So this is just to illustrate what a date palm tree look like, and how you sort of are harvesting it, and what it looked like. And this one is actually really large. This one, it's gonna go into my living room, and I love dates, like I eat dates every day almost. And after being in Dubai, I just love palm trees, and these vintage type of palm tree prints and stuff, they are kind of trendy as well, but I don't like them because they are trendy. I like palm trees because I've been seated underneath palm trees and I like it a lot, and I definitely like the palm tree that is providing some dates. So I don't know where this one particularly is kind of illustrating, you know, from what area it is illustrating the harvest and stuff from, but it also have here on the other side, I don't know if I can show, but it also shows the how the dates are looking like and how they are hanging in the tree. So yeah, this one I cannot explain how happy I was to find this one, because it looks like a oasis in the desert with date palms, and yeah, I'm just super happy. I got this one for 15 dirhams. It also has a hanger, and this one has been in an old school in Sweden during the 1900th century, in the beginning of that, and then eventually it has just been seated at this old lady's house for her entire life, and now she wanted to get rid of it because she's moving out of her house and stuff. Those were all of the, oh no, those were all of the things that I got at that second antique turning into thrift shop old lady place. Very interesting findings. If I would have had more money, as I said, in loose cash, I would have purchased more of those palm tree things. But also at that thrift shop that I initially went to, I found this painting, and this is, I was looking at it for a long time. I was just standing and looking at it. I didn't look behind it, but I was just looking at it. And as you know, when you go into a thrift shop, you have like maybe 30 different you know, like frames and paintings and stuff, and I was like, it reminds me of something, but I cannot figure out what. So I was looking at it, and then eventually I looked down here and I saw like a camel. There is a camel right there. Yeah, you can see it over there. And then I was like, I don't care where this is from, but it reminds me of something, and I cannot put my finger on what, but I'm gonna get it. And then I turned on the other side, and it actually mention a place in Lebanon. I've never been there, but I would like to go to Lebanon because I've been to, like as I said, to Jerusalem, Al-Quds, and to Jordan. So for me, Lebanon is also a place I want to go to. And it actually says that it is in Baalbek. So yeah, and there is some, I think there's a name of the person who has sort of made this print, but I cannot pronounce it. I think it sounds like someone, yeah, I have no idea. It's like a mix of Russian and Arabic. So the name, so I don't know who, I will not try and mispronounce it, you know, and mention it in a wrong way, but it has like some Roman temples here, a cedar tree, and I haven't looked at it so close, but it gives like some image of how the city landscape look like, and also these like mountains and stuff. And it was just amazing. I was going because I also went to IKEA today, and I was looking at some frames there with a pine tree, not pine tree, but a pineapple with some leaves, and I was like, should I get it? And then I was like, no, I hope I will someday find very nice authentic type of prints that has palm trees and more like you know, art of the Middle East. And then I found all of these things, so I was on the same day, so I was very happy. So this one is gonna go maybe here in my kitchen or somewhere in my house, but I really like this painting. It was very unique. I don't know from what year this one is. I may be going to look up the name of the art person who has made this one, but yeah, very nice. Maybe I was thinking maybe someone who lived in Lebanon had gotten this one into their house, and yeah, but I have no idea, but it's very, I definitely like it. That was the final thing out of all the things I found, and I'm so hungry now because I didn't eat anything today except breakfast, and it's now in the evening, so I'm going to have food. And yeah,